Hello, lovely people. Welcome to my channel. It's Hila here, Saturday Night Stitch, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we've got a browse through of the April 2022 issue. It's a very exciting issue because it actually marks a change in direction. So I'm just going to read you an email that I got from my subscription service. So I get mine from Newsstand here in the United Kingdom. And I was told way back in January that issue 422 comes with a new look. The publisher has decided to give the title a major refresh. The graphic design of the magazine has been completely revised and surprises with a new look and modern and emotional graphics. There will also be new sections, more service. The styling tips with helpful advice from the professionals are also new. All of this is made clear by the new slogan, Burda style, sewing with passion. So I've been waiting since January because I was quite curious to see what that is going to mean. And yeah, it's quite exciting. So let's get into it. But before we do that, it is spring. Spring is abound in all of its glory. And I've got here some hydrangeas. I've got some pink ones and I've got some purple ones, and they throw this really beautiful fragrance. And so yeah, I'm sharing some hydrangeas with you this spring wherever you are in the world. So just gonna pop these over here. They're so cute. And we'll bring out, I've got the line drawings ready. So yeah, so it's a really nice issue. Heads up, I do quite like this issue. I don't know, I found it quite interesting. Maybe it's just the refresh, you know, the same sense that you get when you've just spring cleaned the house, which, by the way, I've started spring cleaning my house as well. Who else is spring cleaning their house? Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, so it's got like these lovely pastel colors, which are very reminiscent of spring, very, very fresh. And this is the Burda Germany issue. I'm not sure how this is going to translate into the English issue. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so first of all, we've got a bit of a reprint of a pattern because I've seen this particular shirt before. I think it's in a, I don't know, like a 2013 issue, but it's an oversized shirt with a mandarin collar. And it's got these slanted yokes. And for the dress version, we've got elasticated cuffs, which create a more billowy look. And they've used like a viscosy polyester style, so quite drapey. And then on the other side, we have it made in a linen. And when I've seen this before, it's been made in like a translucent organza type fabric. And it's been quite lovely. But yeah, it's a nice oversized top, which would be perfect for spring and for summer. I like how they've done this section where they're showing you the dress version right next to the top, you know, to the top version. So kind of like giving you ideas of how you can easily adapt a dress pattern into a top. And then over here, we've got a dress, an off-shoulder dress. Very simple, very easy to make. What I did think was a little bit different with this one is that instead of shirring, they've actually just used an elastic band, a really wide elastic band. And I'm curious as to how comfortable this would be. So the nice thing about shirring elastic is it is quite comfortable and lightweight enough to not fall down. But this one is the thicker elastic band that I probably use for my skirts. But it looks lovely. I think this is a nice addition to a summery thing, and it's very simple, easy to sew up. And we have, so that came in the top and the dress as well. And then we've got this very interesting dress, which did catch my eye in the preview. It's a shirt dress, but it's got some pleats, some really unusual pleating, diagonal pleating on the waist detail here. And also it's got a deconstructed placket in that it sort of shifts on here. So let's see if I can show you that detail. You can see here, this is at the center front, but this one is slightly asymmetrical. And on top of that, and I think that it is something quite unique and different. I haven't seen anything like that for a while. So it looks to me like this button placket is obviously ornamental. It's not actually functional because it's got a side zipper here, and appropriately it is a 3-dot pattern because that would be a little bit on the tricky side. I normally don't like yellows, but I like this because this is for me like a marigold yellow. I love marigolds. To me, they're quintessential summer plant, and I just love that fabric, and I think it's just such a happy color. So again, we've got the dress and the top next to each other so that you can see how easy it is to go from dress to top, or to go from top to dress, whichever way you want to see it. And over here we've got another one where we've got the top, and this is a raglan sleeve with some volume created by the deep pleats on the shoulder over there. And that's the dress pattern. The dress has got it's like 3/4 length with really deep cuffs, and they're buttoned over here. And to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't bother with doing the cuffs with buttons. I'd probably just have them with an elastic through it. It is an easy to sew pattern, but it's adding the buttonholes and the buttons that increases it from what I would have considered a 2-dot to a 3-dot pattern. And this is a very relaxed style anyway. I don't think you would necessarily need to have the buttons as a choice. I have made something similar from March 2019 or 2020, I think, and it's so easy. It comes together easily, except for that one had gathering on here rather than the deep pleats, but it comes together so quickly. I sort of call it my 80s maternity dress because it reminds me of the maternity clothes that my mom used to wear. My little sister was born in 88, so I remember the maternity clothes that she was wearing. Okay, and then we've actually got a lot of craft sections. So this is in preparation for Easter, and some lovely ideas for what you can do. And there's like detail of all of the different things that you need and the things that you need in order to create like the napkin rings. And I like the new creative aspect that they're adding to this, because sometimes we don't always feel like sewing, but we want to do adjacent crafts that encourage our creativity. And I like that idea. Okay, and then we have here, this is sort of like, oh, I love this. This is the ultra feminine section that's just got some really gorgeous dresses. So first of all, dress number 107. I love this dress. I know the concept is very simple. It is a column style dress, close fitting at the neck. I can't really tell that it's got that much shaping, but it's got the deep pleats at the neckline. But I just thought it's such a simple idea, but very gorgeous. Having an elastic casing and drawing a belt through, and then you can tie it at the waist. I don't know about you guys, but I just found this to be so enchanting as an idea, and I actually really, really like this. Yeah, it's really gorgeous. And so here we've got the line drawing, and you can see how you just sort of thread it through. The only thing would be that you could have fun by having it in a different, having the elastic casing in a different color, I guess. But yeah, so this is definitely one of the ones that I would want to make. And then we've got girls' dresses here. Very lovely. Size is 116 to 140, so my girls do fit into that. And I quite like this. It's got a lovely vintagey feel to it. Very, very beautiful. And then over here, we've got some more Mummy and Me dresses. But these ones are just matching with the fabric. And what's really fascinating, actually, you know what? I'm going to use this one. Okay, we can see that this is a really great style because it's got that knotted feature over here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern pieces. And it doesn't look like it's fully lined on the front because it looks like it's got a facing on here. A little bit of a challenge to sew. I sewed something similar from January 2019 in like an orangey color. And let me tell you, I did not have a lot of fun trying to figure out how to get this to work. So yeah, but it's a really, really cute dress with the cap sleeves. Very lovely, lightly, very feminine. Now, funnily enough, this is the petite sizes 17 to 21. And I have to say, looking at the proportions on this model, she does not look like a petite model. So that I had a little bit of a cognitive dissonance when I was looking at that and trying to reconcile the fact that that's a petite size. And then we've got the girl's dress, and it's a simple raglan sleeve with a little bit of an end in here. and some gathering. So very simple prairie style. And then, oh my days, I loved this little coat, this little girl's coat over here, which I somehow I need to keep up with the line drawings. This little girl's coat here is just so lovely and practical. It's got pockets, and I just think that it works so well with the whole outfit. Definitely something that I would consider making for my little girls. I think that looks lovely. And then we've got a denim jacket, but it's been made in a lovely jacquardy style, pastel blue, pastel pink, so very lovely, lightly. And I love the entire styling that they have with the shabby chic look, the flowers, really, really beautiful. It uplifted my spirits. I like the romantic look. And for me, one of my biggest, saddest moments was realizing that I'm not a theatrical romantic or dramatic romantic according to the Kiwi style, because I do love the aesthetic of that romantic look, but it just doesn't work on me with my proportions at all. But it still uplifts me. I love to look at the aesthetic and uplift it. And I like how they've taken something very structured, very rigid, like a denim jacket, and they've just given it this lovely weightlessness to it with that. Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And then we've got another gorgeous skirt with the knotted details. And I am just so in love with that blouse. It's so beautiful. It's got this pinkiness that I absolutely love. And all of the romantic elements in this, they just make my heart sing. Yeah, and so that's the line drawing that we have for the skirt. And so it's got that funky knot going on there. And it just adds just a little bit of interest, And of course, you've got the slit as well. Beautiful. And we've got the dress with the asymmetrical top and the top with the asymmetrical placket. It was a dress before, and we've made it into a top. And again, you can see how it would work in a beautiful, lovely, romantic floral flower. Beautiful. And then we've got a t-shirt top with more knotted details on the sleeves. If you just wanted to add just a little bit of something unusual. And fantastic. I can't wait to see what people do with this in the Burda sewing community. And then we've got a tutorial on how to make a flower headband, and I am so down for this. Definitely going to be making that. And continuing with this light romantic shabby chic theme, we've got a very simple summer dress with tie straps over here. And I'd call this a summer dress. I wouldn't necessarily call this a spring dress, even though it's been layered with a cardigan there. It's definitely more summery, and it's in a siasika gingham. Beautiful. And another very simple top for the girls. And I think that this would be very lovely in a linen or a double gauze. This romantic section is so beautiful and so inspiring. Like, it really gets my juices flowing because it's got flowers, and I love flowers. Yeah. And then we've got possibly one of my favorite style of trousers. And I've made a pair of trousers very similar to this, but I made them in like a wool. And I wore those trousers to death. In fact, I wore them so much. They got to a point where the washing, they got a rip on the center back crotch seam, and because it was a wool, woven wool, I couldn't fix it. So I have it in my mind that I need to make another pair of those. I found them to be very comfortable and very practical. And then we've got a lovely pinafore dress, which is also a featured sewing lesson here. And it's got this lovely square neckline, which I think that it works really well, especially if you want to wear it with a blouse, because it gives a lot of space for whatever else you want to work over this. So the turtleneck, this would work. Although what I would say is, when I looked at the instructions, they just lined the upper half of it. I would probably go for lining, at least having a half lining down there as well. And that would make it more wearable in winter, so that you can wear tights underneath it, or even if you use a cord, a needle cord, oh, it'll be so gorgeous in a cord. And you could really make a feature of the buttons. I know they chose not to do that here, but it's so gorgeous. And all of the details, with this blouse that has got this lacy edge, oh, beautiful and softly romantic, gorgeous. And there's the sewing tutorial for the Pinafore Dress. As you can see, it's got the instructions for lining the top. I would just go the one little step further and just line the top half of it. And then the masterpiece vintage model is a wedding dress, and it is this wonderful 1950s style wedding dress. So beautiful. Yeah, one of my biggest regrets in life is that I didn't actually sew my own wedding gown because I was just too scared to sew it. But if we ever got to renew our vows again, I definitely would be making myself a wedding dress. I thought that was quite beautiful. And then we've got that skirt again, but this time it's in a plain fabric that's got a little bit more structure. So the first time we sewed it, it was in a silky satiny style fabric, so it didn't have as much structure, but it had that beautiful drape. And then here we've got it, you can see the knot detail here just really comes into play more, and the minimalistic aesthetic works so well for this. So yeah, just really like that. And this entire section has got the more minimalistic vibe going. And so we've got that dress again that I really loved before, and it's in a shorter length. So the first one is maxi length, and this one is sort of midi length, knee length, and I would make it in this length. Not particularly a big fan of the fabric that they have used, although I can see why they're going for the minimalist look. But yeah, gorgeous, love it. And then this shirt here, you get to see more of the detail of it since it's a plain one, and they've done like a dusky pink. And really, I can see this one being quite popular because it's the sort of thing that you make and you kind of know that you're not really going to see a lot of people wearing something like this. There's just something really very unique about it. And it also works even if you're not wearing a belt. I mean, you can belt it, but it looks just as good even without the belt. And as I said, it's got a zipper on the side, so that's the only bit that will be a little bit tricky to do. And we've got a very simple sheath dress style. Princess seams are always a winner in a very lovely top color dress with the bracelet sleeve. Lovely. I can see this one being quite popular. That's the tall pattern, by the way. And then we've got the t-shirt top with a twist. Literally, it's got a twist on the sleeves here. And it looks great in just this neutral fabric, neutral color. And then we have that top again, but this time it's just in a blue chambray, very lightweight blue chambray. So the Pinafore dress from before, which was floral, it's just been cut short to make it into a top. So I thought that this issue did a really good job of showing the dress top versions. And this, you've added texture and interest by having the statement buttons and using a very light ivory fabric, but it's got some texture on it. It's a great way of being able to play around with different textures, I think, within fabrics, because they create a different feel to an aesthetic. We have a suit here, which is a runway model, and it's the jacket. So it's double-breasted, but we've just, instead of going straight down here, we just sort of like do a little bit of a asymmetrical vent just to add a little bit of interest. And then it's got the double welt pocket, and it's got tabs on there so that you can wear it rolled up to create a very charming look with a belt. Quite like this, actually. Do you know, I think I'd like this in a linen, like a linen viscose mix. Maybe use one of my colors. This could work as a layer. I can see that working as a layer. And here they've doubled it up as a suit with the trousers from before that have got, they've got sort of like waist conforming here. They don't actually have the waistband, and there's a fly front there. Although the ones that I made didn't actually have a fly front. They didn't have a fly front. They just had a side zipper. I'm not a big fan of sewing fly fronts. Probably something that I do need to confront. And then we've got some tips for working with jerseys over here. It's pretty cool. And then, oh, I love the return of this, which is like a styling section where a stylist kind of talks you through some ideas of how you might be able to wear the items that are in here. So we've got that dress over there. You could wear it layered over a t-shirt, and that just making it more accessible for spring, right? And then you've got here that top, and how you can wear it with a blazer and the trousers and the bags. So I really, really do like that. So you've got like a really lovely sort of a country chic look, and then you kind of have like a bit of a city style, and then you've got a little bit of a, you know, edgy. It's a very quite edgy with that dress over there. So yeah, I like these. I really do, especially as I've moved more towards getting into styling my wardrobe. I like the addition of those. And then we've got like this really bright, beautiful, colorful top with some beautiful details. I love pin tucks. I don't have the patience to sew them myself, but I love seeing them, and I love looking, and I love how they create sort of like a gentle volume that they add to a dress. And then you've also got some more detail here with the frilly sleeve edge, and then you've got some pockets on the side. I think that this is a beautiful dress, and I can see this one being popular because you can make this in a cotton lawn, in a batiste, in a voile, even in a linen, although it would have like a lovely crumpled, charming texture to it. And then we've got a vest, which I think I've seen so many vests on the high street lately. So vests are very practical, I think, because they've got the pockets, and pockets are everything, and you can easily wear them as a layering piece. Now, I'm not too sure what's happening with the belt here. I'm not a big fan of having this popper fastener over here, because it assumes that you always have it at the correct tightness, but as we all know, sometimes when you eat, sometimes when you haven't eaten, it's different. I prefer them to have the tie belts, or certainly notched belts that you can easily thread through. But I can see this one being a popular one. And then we've got some lovely, I want to say straight leg. No, not quite straight leg. They've got a bit of a boot flare trousers here with an interesting pocket design, very similar to the trousers that we saw last month, but this time they're in the extended sizes as well. Really beautiful. And I love the styling that they've gone on here with the monochromatic. So it's like the blue on the blue, and then you have the hot pink shoes and the purple thing. And I was just like, I need to try and do my own version of this particular styling. I love the hot pink things, and just everything about this style. Just I think that it works really well. And then another beautiful, vibrant skirt, denim style skirt, so sort of straight skirt with the cargo pants over there, fly front, made a feature of the gold buttons. I think it's lovely. Works very well for spring and for summer. And then we've got that top again with the pin tuck details, but it's been made in a white cotton, a white cotton poplin, and poplin holds a pleat so beautifully, and you can see there how it just adds a little bit of a je ne sais quoi. The hems have been given those really impractical tie bows. I mean, see, how do you tie them with your non-dominant hand? How do you even do that? Anybody who's ever made a sleeve cuff that's got the tie, just let me know how does that happen. I always really do wonder about that. For me personally, elastics all the way. But again, great use of colors. This is my red, cherry red, my pink. I love that white and purple. Really, really gorgeous. I must say, yeah, I find this issue to be very inspiring. And then over here, we've got a lovely simple top with a tiered bottom here. But what makes this one a little bit different is that we've got a concealed placket here. And we've got just this very delicate rounded collar, which just adds a lovely delicateness to the overall top itself. Yeah, beautiful. And again, beautiful use of colors. And then we've got this really gorgeous hot pink jacket, cropped at the hip, a little bit of detail here on the hem, on the sleeve cuff, absolutely beautiful. And how gorgeous is it styled over here? I just like that, love it. Love it. So I'm really happy with how they're going with showing a lot more styling, a lot more ideas and inspiration over how you can actually wear these items that you make, because that is the joy of sewing, isn't it? So this is what we have with the March issue, the April issue, and I absolutely am happy. I found inspiration. It really got my sewing juices very excited to, just get onto it, and definitely want to make this dress number, not the 107, where is it? Number 108. Definitely would love to make that. I like shirt number 118. I would love to make 130 and 129 for my girls. I think that 105 would definitely be a great transitional piece for me in autumn. And just some really inspiring use of colors and color blocking in the plus size section. I do think that this is a really great issue. And I quite like, there's something oddly drawing me to jacket number 119. So fantastic. I think that, I'm happy with this issue. Very, very pleased with it. Definitely excited to get on to sewing with it. Now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments box down below. Are you going to be making anything from this issue? Have you already started sewing anything from this issue? I shall be getting on with cleaning my sewing room, doing a little bit of gardening. And until I see you next time, lovely people, happy sewing. Bye.